Hello, how are you doing today? Welcome to another test section of Diego's Fine Art Ventures. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of acrylic painting. I'm working on this one heart papier mache work, and I'm doing a little bit of painting on top of that work. I'm also going to work on some attachments later on my new either papier mache or possibly even epoxy or even glue. Sort of a top portion to this particular work of art, and also there's going to be other embellishments that I do produce on this heart form. You notice I'm placing and painting an eye in the middle of it, and some people think this is the eye of God, or could be a whole lot of different meanings and that sort of stuff. Sometimes I leave my work up to interpretation, which is often very good. Anyway, I'm doing a little bit of painting today, and I'm doing some underpainting. How about that? So I'm taking this away for a second. And I'm going to do some underpainting. With underpainting, what I generally mean is just sort of underpainting is exactly what it means. I will scumble, and the term scumble means I'm just using loose brush work with very, very thin veils of paint. And it's not meant to be the actual finished product at all. It's just called scumbling. And often you just scumble, I'm going to show you what it means. You just sort of scumble along, move randomly like that, and you sort of get the Gestalt, which is a German term meaning the overall shape of a particular work of art or form on your canvas or whatever you're working on. So we're just working on the Gestalt, or the main part of it, or just the general part of this painting. And we can later on define a lot later on. I'm using a smaller brush here. I could use a broader brush, but I just feel like using a smaller brush today. So sort of painting in this eye section, which is white. There we go, sort of painting right along there. I'm sort of reinforcing the white pigmentation around this eyeball that I'm painting on this heart form. I'm taking my time when I'm using a round brush. I think it's number 2 or 3, Craftsman brush. And so I'm taking my time painting the white form. Being very, not quite detailed yet, but I'm working up towards the details. There we go. There we go. There we go. Sort of being careful and just using smaller brush strokes here and there to finish sort of the white part of the eye. I'm going to certainly change color in a little while, because I'll be working on the interior portion of the eye. Okay, that's enough for the white coloration. So I'm going to wash out my brush here. Of course, I'm using acrylic-based paint here. We don't want it to stick on your brush. And it's definitely a water-based paint, so I'm going to use a little bit of red. The optical portion of the interior portion of the eye, I want it to be a red sort of a color. I don't think you find that in the human species, but I think it's going to be an interesting color for this particular piece. So, and plus I'm the artist, and I get to choose a color, and I want it to be red. So, how about this color? Let's start sun hunting around for color. I think that color may be okay. Let's give it a shot. Let's see. Oh, here's a better color. No, I think I like this color. I'm the artist. I can sort of change my mind here and there. So, there we go. Could always lighten it up if we want to a little bit. And this color is sort of they call it a bright red. It doesn't really look like a bright red at all to me. It's like almost like a brown red almost. I don't know why. But it looks like an appealing color for me right now, so I'm going to do some work with it. I can always change it a little bit later. Look around the optical portion, the interior of this eye. Sort of being careful not to go over the edges too much. I mean, technically I actually should go over the edges a little bit. That's not bad, especially with an acrylic painting, and I'm doing the first part of the painting. You sort of do want it to go over a little bit. That's just fine. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got to keep within the lines." No, you don't have to keep within the lines. It's not about keeping. It's not about keeping within the lines. That's silly. That's a myth. Nobody kept within the lines. Michelangelo didn't keep within the lines. Pablo Picasso didn't keep within the lines. Rembrandt didn't keep within the lines. Why should you have to keep within the lines? It's more or less. But whenever you have line work, you work more or less within those lines. You can always go out a little bit, which is always good. There we go. There we go. Painting a little around this. I'm painting the flesh area of this optical metaphor, or this optical symbol towards the bottom of this heart form. May make it a little more of a fleshy color a little later on, but the underpainting is very important. So that determines the overpainting, or more thicker painting. Okay, there we go. Okay, see what I've done so far. Hopefully it's not. I'm not going to tilt it too much because it'll drip, but you can see pretty much as to what I did today in terms of the interior portion of this heart shape. And here's my little palette. Of course, it's not much of a palette, but you don't need much in terms of palette. Use a plate, use a piece of wood. My art master even used the top of a, believe it or not, stove. And I'm washing my brush. Clink, clink, clink. And making sure my brush is nice and clean. See there? Nice and clean. And with that, we'll sort of end our art session for today. Sort of end the art session. And with the end of the art session, I wish you all a happy evening. I have to go make dinner tonight, so I'll be a little busy pretty soon. And that, God bless, and please take care.